Good morning, dear students. We have studied that colligative properties are the properties that depends upon the total number of particles. That particles may be ions, atoms, molecules, irrespective of the nature of solute. Now we are going to understand the application of colligative property. What is the application of colligative property? Why do we need to study colligative property? These are the kind of questions asked. So we have observed that colligative properties are used to determine the molar mass of or molecular weight of the substances. Generally, we have seen that osmotic pressure is used to calculate the molar mass of proteins and vitamins, that is biomolecules and polymers, and so on. For the various substances, we can using this colligative properties, we can easily find out their molar masses. But when a substance or when a solute is added to the solvent, there are two possibilities. One possibility is dissociation, another possibility is association. But first we will study dissociation. As we know that if NaCl is added to solvent, it turns into Na plus and Cl minus. This is what it is known as dissociation or ionization. So 1 mole of NaCl actually gives 1 mole of Na plus and 1 mole of Cl minus. So total 1 plus 1, 2 moles of particles are produced when we add 1 mole of NaCl. When it comes to K2SO4, it gives 2K plus and SO4 minus 2. So ultimately it gives 2 moles of K plus and 1 mole of SO4 minus 2. So that is total 2 plus 1, that is equal to 3 moles of particles are produced. When it comes to AlCl3, we get Al plus 3 and 3 Cl minus. So ultimately it goes into 1 mole of Al plus 3 and 3 moles of Cl minus. Total it goes as 1 plus 3, that is equal to 4 moles of particles generated because of the 1 mole of AlCl3. When we take 1 mole of K4 FeCN6, 4K plus and FeCN6 minus, that is 4 plus 1, total 5 moles of particles are generated when 1 mole of K4 FeCN6 is added. If you have Fe2SO4 thrice, that gives us 2 moles of Fe plus 3 and 3 moles of SO4 minus 2. Ultimately, it also gives the 5 moles of particles. Even zirconium iodide ZrI4 gives Zr plus 4 plus 4I minus. So here also we get 5 moles of ions produced because of the 1 mole of zirconium iodide. My dear students, by discussing all these things, I just want to tell you that due to the dissociation, we get more number of particles from 1 mole of particle. So what we simply understand is the solute generate more than 1 mole of particles or ions. So we calculate or find molar mass of the particles, we actually find the molar mass of the any ion, not the solute. So while we find the molar mass of particle using the colligative property, actually we are finding the molar mass of the ions, not the complete solute. Therefore, using colligative properties, the calculated molar mass is not the molar mass of the solute. We cannot find out the molar mass of the solute because we are finding the molar mass of the ions. This is what it happens. Same way when I already mentioned the second thing that happens when a solute is added to solvent is known as association. Some of the substances associated means their molecules associate to form dimer, trimer or polymer. For example, if you have CH3COOH or acetic acid, that dimerizes and gives you this kind of dimers. Due to the hydrogen bonding present between the oxygen and hydrogen, it forms a dimer. So when you have 2 moles of acetic acid, you get only 1 mole. Or if you take 1 mole of acetic acid, you get half mole of dimer. In this case, when there is association, we feel that we have added 1 mole, but actually we finally get half mole. So whatever the molecular mass we find, we actually find the molecular mass of this dimer, not this particular substance. So this is what it happens. So we conclude due to dissociation and association, the molar mass or molecular weight we calculate is not the normal molar mass, but we get the abnormal molar masses. So this is how we can understand the word what is known as the abnormal molar masses. Due to dissociation, the molar mass that we calculate using colligative property are always lower than that the true molar mass. Due to association, the molar mass that we calculate using colligative properties are always more greater, higher than the real or true molar mass, or sometimes the the molar mass that is either lower or higher than the expected molar mass or true molar mass or normal molar mass is called the abnormal molar mass. This is, my dear students, I have given you the definition of the abnormal molar mass. Scientists named Van 't Hoff first observed the abnormality into the molar mass using the colligative properties. So he introduced Van 't Hoff factor, which is known as I, which helps to find the or to calculate the correct molar mass using colligative properties. So according to the Van 't Hoff factor I is equal to normal molar mass divided by abnormal molar mass. Or what are the other formulas to find out I? Let us check it out. Second formula says that Van 't Hoff factor I is equal to observed colligative property divided by calculated colligative property. Or we can say that I is equal to total number of moles of particles after association or dissociation divided by number of moles of particles before association or dissociation. So now what we do, we add the Van 't Hoff factor to the formulas of the calculation for the colligative property. So we will write P0 minus P divided by P0 is equal to I into x2, delta TB is equal to I into KB into M, delta TF is equal to I into KF into M, pi is equal to I into N into R into T by V, where I is known as the Van 't Hoff factor. With association or dissociation, there is one term associated, that is what it is known as the degree of dissociation or degree of association. So first we will understand degree of dissociation. The extent of dissociation that takes place for per mole or sometime in percentage, that is per 100 molecules, for a weak electrolyte is called the degree of dissociation. Now we need this degree of dissociation for weak electrolytes only. So when there is weak electrolyte, they do not completely dissociate, and that is why they dissociate partially. And as they dissociate partially, what extent do they dissociate or they associate is known as their degree of dissociation. Then we have degree of association. The extent of association that takes place for a substance per mole or per 100 molecule, that is represented in percentage, is called the degree of association. For both degree of association as well as degree of dissociation, we use the symbol which is known as the alpha. So my dear students, this is how we understand the few things